The Israelis' heads must be spinning over the Arab politics, and as Brendan Greeley mentioned earlier, the advent or the reemergence of the Arab League. How does Israel perceive what we see in the Middle East this weekend?
I think what we're seeing right now, Tom, merely serves to underline some of the things that Prime Minister Netanyahu was talking about when he came and gave that controversial speech to Congress in the midst of the election campaign. It's important to know that we don't actually have a new Israeli government just yet, so we're not exactly getting ministers lining up to say certain things. But I think this is just more evidence that, look, you know, you're criticising us. This is what Prime Minister Netanyahu presumably would be thinking. Look, Israel's being criticised for not making peace with the Palestinians, for not handing back territory that was conquered in 1967. But look, every time that there is some kind of vacuum, you know, jihadists or rebels or insurgents somehow get in there and just make matters worse. And I suppose when you are in this region, Israel will again point out that, look, this is the only beacon of stability here in this region when pretty much all these other countries around it are imploding or in turmoil.
Elliott, frame for us, and you're very good at the backstory in Israel, frame for us the dialogue between Israel and the Arab League, and particularly the relationship with Egypt right now. Is there any back and forth, visible or less visible?
I don't think it's likely for that there's going to be any visible helping or cooperation between Israel and its Arab neighbours, particularly at this sensitive time. I think as far as Egypt goes, from the Israeli government's perspective, it must be very content to have President Sisi there, who is you know, a strong ally of Israel's and is, of course, also battling with Islamist rebels in the Sinai Peninsula, Islamist rebels who are not only threatening the Egyptian government but also threatening Israel. As far as the Arab League goes, there isn't really much toing and froing. Of course, there was that Arab League offer for peace and diplomatic relations with its members in exchange for Israel signing a peace agreement with the Palestinians. That was proposed by the Saudis some time ago. Possibly that might be re-emerge at some point, but I don't think that's really something right now. But the Israel and the Arab, I think Israel's really staying out of this right now. Israel doesn't need to muddy the waters that are going on right now.
I'll go with that. One final question, Mr. Gotkine, if we could. The idea here of the Red Sea shutting down. Some of us can barely find it on the map, let alone where Yemen is. Israel knows exactly where it is. What is the effect upon Israel if the Red Sea was to shut down on and up to the Suez Canal?
Well, of course, Israel does have a port on the Red Sea in Eilat, and it does a fair amount of trade coming to and from there. But I should note to you that just in the last few minutes, BIMCO, which is the largest maritime shipping organisation in the world, has said that there's no indication of any Yemeni any disruption to shipping through the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb up and down from the Red Sea. So no effect just yet.